Okay, my Chinookers, I'm about to do a Weber Carb upgrade, but that means that the original Carb, which is rebuilt and is just fine, it's just not to my liking, it's going to be up for sale. So if anybody wants it, message me, I'll give you a good rate on it. So I've rebuilt it, man. It took like a day to clean and 4 or 5 hours to it was a pain in the butt, but here it is. I want you to see the let's listen and hear it fire up. Now she's cold start, so she's got the choke is on, I'm sure, and it's got to warm up, but it fires right up instantly. No hesitation. Anywho, it's going to be for sale. If anybody wants the original OEM Carb, it's a 77 Chinook with a 20R, and I'm going to do the Weber upgrade here. Alright, message me for any details. Okay, we'll try and film a little bit of the Weber conversion for the Chinook with a 20R. Well, as best I can with one hand. But first, let's take a look at everything we got. We got some block-off plugs because there's a lot of coolant lines coming through here. LCE Engineering sells that, and an EGR, exhaust gas recirculation, emissions delete as well. Here we go. This is the first unboxing. The genuine Weber Carb. Now this is just to get a little bit more power, simplify all the crazy emissions and complicated circuits of the original OEM one. The OEM one, you know, runs fine at the moment, but it took so long to rebuild, and these are so quick and easy to rebuild. So our adapter plates, throttle brackets, linkage, your air filter, some plumbing, some instructions, and the unit itself. Super simple unit. Okay, so first let's take the old one off. Did it come with new studs? I don't know. Oh. No. So let's take the old one off. And look at all these vacuum lines. Look at them all. Look at them all. What are they doing? And coolant lines are running through there. Okay, so we'll start with fuel. We'll rip all these other ones out. Some fluid will come out of there. We've got another heat riser or something over here. And then the bolts are right there. 1 and 2. Those are actually pass-through bolts, and these are studs over here. 3 and 4. So let's just start yanking everything. We're not saving anything, so it can all come off. Well, I mean, we're saving it for whoever wants to keep theirs OEM. Some people have to pass smog and stuff, so I understand that. Alright, everything's being yanked off that I can right now. Now I gotta go get some flatheads and Phillips and remove the rest. Okay, off camera I just loosened up this one, this one, this one, and this little guy. So now the lines can be theoretically pulled off. This one might squirt some fuel, so let's be careful and go slow. Well, you know what? Let's do the all-important disconnecting of the battery. This is a little battery disconnect from Walmart. You just turn the thing and it disconnects the circuit. It's a lot easier than getting tools out and doing all that stuff. So we might want to go get a bucket for the coolant because it's poisonous to animals. Okay. There's the coolant. You see it coming. Come on, baby. It's not an insane amount or nothing, it's just messy nonetheless. Okay, now we are going to remove these guys right there. And there's 4. Let me set the camera around down and do that. I've got those 2 off. There's 1, there's 2. Now if we come to the passenger side, there's 3 and 4. Let's get those off, and those we're probably gonna have to reach in with some janky tool that can only move just a hair at a time. Yep. And then this one right here. Let me get these off, and then we'll come right back. Oh, and I forgot to mention, these are, you need 2 of them because one has to hold the bottom and the one has to do the top. Okay, I got everything off, so I might have to set the camera down. So I have to lift while pulling it out of this pipe. So let's see if we can find some janky spot to wedge the camera up. But otherwise, you just lift it off. Let's see if we can do it one-handed. Oh, that hose right there needs to be disconnected. What is this? This line is just in my way, so we're going to remove this line. And now we're going to try and yank it out. Oh. Let's put that back down because we forgot to disconnect this linkage here, and there's a little pin down here, so we need to grab this little spinny thing. And you just yank it out, but I need some pliers. Wait, maybe. Yep. Okay, I think what I'm going to try and do is use these curved ones and reach up in there and pinch it and grab it out. So, let's see. There it is. Okay, so try and find those. That worked great. And then now when that is gone, we can lift the arm out and push it away. Oh, there it is. Okay, now let's try and oh, come on, baby. Okay, so I've got it all off except I forgot the diaphragm, and there's an electrical plug down there. Let's get those. Okay, and like that, the carb is off. I might want to save some gaskets. So this one's been rebuilt and is in great condition. Let's see now. What I just did off camera was this green plug. Now mine has been snipped because the previous owner put an electrical pump in there. So now this wire is hot, so I'm going to have to, although we're going to reuse this wire for, I believe, the electric choke. So yours, you can pull the green tab off and yank that off, or you can do what I did and just kind of snip it. But we got to be careful because if this is live and it hits something next to this fuel line, we're going to have fire. So now we got to clean our gaskets up. And I'm going to do that off screen with the razor blade, but get everything looking real good. Actually, is that a plate? We might need to take that plate off and use the adapters. So let's look at, before we waste time cleaning that, let's look at the adapters and see and read the instructions and see what we got to do. And here's where you can tell where all the plugs are going to go. I think we're going to have plugs going in here, a plug going in there, plug going into the other, one of these, to keep the coolant from overflowing. So just open up all the brackets and spacers, and it did come with new studs. The reason it'll want new studs is because sometimes the brackets make it higher and the original studs aren't long enough, and we need to get some Loctite out because you want to Loctite these studs in at the bottom. Let me read the instructions and see which one of these plates goes. This one I believe is going to be up at the top, but we have different sides. You see it has a bevel there, and it's a flat on the bottom. And that looks like these are going to go into those bevels. And yeah, we need to get the manual out. Okay, the manuals are pretty worthless because it's all different than ours. But we're gonna. There's a video online I'm going to take a look at, see what we have to do. But in the meantime, I don't want to install my carb first, because then it's too hard to reach all the EGR delete stuff. So we're going to go ahead and start yanking some of this stuff out and clogging it up. And I have to go back to see which ones I'm going to do. I mean, on the other video, but now is the time to do EGR first, carb last. So let me go take a look at that. We're going to remove the studs using the double nut method, where you put two nuts on top of each other and then tighten them together. And then when you do lefty-loosey, the whole stud comes out with it, and you can see the center piece is turning with it. So do that for both of those. Almost forgot to record some of this stuff. If you're doing these EGR deletes, you come down here and there's 3 bolts that hold this on. We're going to yank this off. We're not going to need this crap anymore. We're going to clean up our install and make our engine bay really smooth. There's a block off plate we'll put right there. Okay, I got a little bit ahead of myself. I took this thing off, which was mounted right here, and it held maybe a blinker relay, the thing that keeps the static from the radio, and the little charcoal canister thing, which I don't know why that's powered. So that freed up all this space. Now I might remount back up there, just put these places somewhere place to hang, but or I'll just tie them off somewhere and really get them out of the way and clean things up. I also went and took the smog pump off. The smog pump on the Dolphin that I used to have, I actually rigged up. I kept the smog pump hooked up to the lines, and I put a barb fitting on there so I could use the air compressor to blow up all my inflatable rafts and stuff. But it takes horsepower out of your engine. I want the most horsepower I can get. So I've yanked a bunch of more lines. I took all those. So now I'm trying to figure out these coolant lines, because I want the heater core to still work, but I want to clean up as much as I can. So I'm going to plug this one off, I have this one hooked up here, but I don't know if that's the final resting position yet. But we're almost a little bit more work, and I think we'll be done with this emission stuff. So right now I'm going to take this guy out and that guy out and run a plug in there. Okay, I got busy doing a new thermostat, a plug, new hoses, and anyways, so we're back on target. There is a paper gasket under this, and then this plate goes first, and then it is secured into the original bolt holes using these new hexes, the long ones on this side, the short on this side, with a nut on the back side. And then we're going to put the next plate on, which is the plate that converts that one right there. So we'll do another gasket, and then we'll do that plate. But this is it was kind of confusing in the instructions. I had to kind of look at it several times. But so this one is now good, and we're gonna put these next gaskets on. So stay tuned. Okay, so there's 2 more gaskets. One has more holes in it with a longer side thing, and that is the one that's going to go next. You can see it aligns with the bolt holes, and that is for the next bracket plate. Okay, then the next step is to bolt that bracket with these bolts onto there. Do not drop these down the intake. You move real slow one at a time. We're also going to use Loctite. Oop. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, we're going to put all 4 on. Okay, got the studs in, and we're about to do the first test fitting. We'll want to move the fuel doodad to the other side. So linkage in the back, fuel in the front. You know what? I'm going to move the fuel around right now. Okay, I moved the fuel thing around because here's the original fuel. We need to hook up this throttle linkage, which I didn't even look at before I put this on. It might not even be compatible. I think I might have to do some jerry rigging. Yeah, I didn't look at that yet. Yeah, I'm gonna need to do that, so I should probably take it back off. But there's the first mount up. Look how easy it is to reach the oil filter now. Okay, let me change this out and I'll give you an up. Okay, we need to bend that little metal tab. I believe that's a 12, and then we'll replace that with this, which is how the stock one looks. Came with a bunch of other stuff. I don't know if we'll need any of these other spacers. We'll do this install first, and then we'll test. Okay, it's running. It's running real good. Uh-oh. It's I'm letting the air bubbles come out. I have not adjusted the carb yet, but it fired in about 2 seconds and idled just really good. I spliced in the see where I ran the wire for the 12 volt for the electric choke. We're gonna watch that and see if it functions properly. It was really loud when I first started it, and it's the air injection pump right there was really loud. So I just hit it with some Play-Doh, and I'll cap that off and do that later. So this was a new upper heater hose, new thermostat gasket, plugs in the thermostat, plugs throughout everywhere else, and new carburetor, double plates, triple gaskets. I put a new breather hose up there. Oh, I need to plumb the PCV hose. I need to watch this heater core and see if it opens up and expands to the right temp. So next we'll be tuning the carb. To tune it, it's that little jet right there. Just bring that in and bring that out until it sounds real good. But it needs to be warmed up first. Looks like the electric choke is functioning properly. The gates are starting to open. It's quiet. It's really, I'm able to have like this simple conversation right over it. It's unheard of. It's my secondary battery disconnect for the rear end. Okay, I'm gonna let this warm up. I'm gonna empty out these air bubbles, and I'm gonna connect the. Oh, I've got some smoke. You know, that could be the, it could be the coolant burning up and heating up. I'll check back in with you in a second. Okay, we got another little bag of bits and pieces in the carb kit. So these 4 screws are going to mount to that plate and screw it into these 4 screws here in the base, and then the filter, and then the top, and then these snaps. Now, why did they give me those? Do they go on the bottom? There's a bunch of extra things I don't know what they go to, like the heads, and why there's so many of these and of different sizes. Oh, and this will pinch into here, and this tube will then go into that. So Let me get all that set up and I'll let you. I just messed with the idle adjustment. The idle mixture adjustment. I brought it in maybe about 1 or 2 turns, and then on that 3rd turn it started bogging, so I brought it back out, and it is just purring like a kitten. You can barely tell it's on unless you look down there. I don't remember my last one being this quiet. And there we can see the one of the block off plates for the EGR. All of this EGR garbage is gone. All the smog pumps are gone. The smog lines are gone. The smog pump is gone. Look, so I think what I'll do now with all this area open, heck, I could almost put another battery. I think what I'd like to do is mount an actual air compressor there and then have a big line of hose so I can fill up all 4 tires for emergencies. And I guess that's it. That's the only thing you really do in the engine bay because you already got a second battery. So Operation Weber Carb was a success. Oh, here I have the only vacuum line you're gonna have left. Isn't that great? You got rid of like 50 of them, and you only have one left, and it's going to the distributor. I just grabbed whatever piece of hose I had and hooked that fitting into this. This is a different diameter than this. This one's huge, so it's supposed to like stop it here, but since it's the wrong fitting, I just went over and then secured it with the hose clamp. And that's the PCV valve. You want that one. That one helps clean your oil. So I need to run a new line for this because it's barely hanging on and it's kind of corroded and probably has some vacuum leaks. And power's coming from this. Hopefully it's working. I think it is. It's running nice and cool. Low RPM. I guess that's it for tonight. This would not have been so long had I not have added extra tasks on deleting smog and replacing the thermostat. I'm glad I did, because the original thermostat, I might have already thrown it away. Never use RTV to seal your water thermostats. Look, that gunk just overfills. And always use the paper gaskets. My other one, someone did that to the water pump, and I'm still pulling out chunks of RTV out of here. Oh, speaking of out of here, let's see if this is... No, I don't want to mess with that. Need to bleed the air bubbles out. Although the new thermostat I have has the bleed hole on it, so I don't think I should need to bleed air out. This hose back here, I pulled the one off of there and just ring that one up and put it on. It works so far, but that's going to have to be addressed because that's a failure point. We'll just get some line and bend it, and that should be fine. I might be able to delete that, and it goes back to right there. See that line? That line comes all the way over here, hooks up and comes over, went to the old carburetor, and then it dumps down into there. So I could have just ran a hose barb to connect the two, but instead I just pulled the other one out and looped that one into it, and it worked. So far so good. I don't think there's any vacuum leaks because this thing is running pretty low idle. What is that sound? Oh. Okay, I hope that gave somebody else the confidence to maybe do the mod themselves. And if anybody wants the original OEM carb that's cleaned and runs just fine, oop, there it is, cleaned and runs just fine, holler at me. I'll give it to you on a real good deal. This one, hopefully, of course haven't tested it yet, but hopefully I'll get some more RPMs out of it and get some more power. So not only should this give it more power, but deleting the smog should give it more power and make it run cleaner. And deleting the smog pump will take power from the fan belt and give, so that all three of those combinations are all power boosting things. So hopefully that helps out. And I don't know how much this is going for. I think I'd probably put it up for $100 and let somebody do it the best offer. And of course I got all the plates with it too. All the other bits and pieces. Oh, I even have all the I saved all the pieces for it. Here's the extra plugs that I didn't use because they just weren't called for. That's all that we took out. Garbage. Oh, if someone needs that before I throw it away, holler at me and I'll hook you up. Alright. Hope everybody has a good Chinook day. It's my 77. If you have any questions or comments, you can PM me or message me, or use the video that I used, which was the LCE Engineering's Weber Carb. Some things on theirs were a little bit different. They didn't bring the camera into Zoom, so whatever. But alright, thank you so much. Bye-bye. Okay, we're about to do our first test run of the new Carb. I just want to show you how cute this little camper is. I just love it. So real quick, I was able to fit an extra 16-gallon water tank in here on top of the 10-gallon that's on that side, and I plumbed it down to the floor underneath it and came up on the in the sink. So I got about 26 gallons of water in here. We do a lot of boondocking. But let's see, this is a Weber 3236. First test drive. We're going to test the power out. Fired right up. It's not really warmed up yet, but let's I'm too excited. Let's go for a drive. We're going to test the power, and I didn't move my wheel chocks. We're going to drive over that. Oh, there it goes. And it's hard to see out of my window because it's really dirty. Let's see if this thing's got any more oomph than before. Of course, I really didn't do any good before videos of power or top speed. I wish I could have did a top speed video. Oh man, ooh. Feels good. Try not to placebo effect myself though. Here we go, pull out here. Oh crap, stuff's falling down behind me. Oh yeah. Yeah, baby. I don't want to go too far because I still have that coolant line that I kind of don't trust. But let's see if we can get her up to county road speeds. That's 30. It's really hard to drive with one hand, a manual. So I'm thinking the easiest way to tell if that coolant line's popped off is if I see it in the rear view mirror, the fluid coming out. I mean, she feels good. I won't really know until I take it on the highway. I'm not going to do it in this video. But you know, this is all just a test still. No, it's a really windy day. We have 15 mile an hour winds right now with gusts of another 10 on top of that. It was, I think it was about 50 degrees outside, and we're in Decatur, Texas, so whatever elevation above sea level that is. Oh yeah, that's a fourth gear, full throttle there. Oh yeah. Woo! Okay, that's it. I just wanted to give another update that I'm just excited about the Weber 3236. Now I've got this carburetor on 3 other of my vehicles, and it really made a performance gain in my Subarus. I got 2 80s Subarus, a Subaru 84 Brat and an 84 GL Wagon, and they feel like sports cars. Now, man, listen to that rev up. This thing is smashing good time. All right. Oh yeah. Oh, we're cooking. We are cooking. 45, 50. She's still got a lot more left in her. This is a really bumpy county road though, so I'm gonna bring it on down. I hope this video helps. I hope anybody out there with a 20R, well, I say 20R, this Weber carb works on all the Toyota engines. But I'd like to say, this is my first test drive, so I'd like to say, yeah, sure, it helped out. I'd like to think it maybe a 10 to 20% gain. You know, I still got to take it on the highway, but for the old around the block, I thought that was all right. I thought that was pretty cool. All right, man. I'll check in with you guys later. Just oh, you know what? I need to move this out of the garage, the driveway. Woo! Oh man, everything just fell down here. All my little light brackets. Okay, Weber 3236 carb update. One more last check for leaks, and we do have something. We have a leak from this plug. Just needs to be tightened, I assume. How's everything else look? Everything else looks all right. Well, it's always important to test drive your stuff. I found that leak. And this thing rattles. I need to take that off or tighten it up. That little metal shroud, it just vibrates and shakes and rattles. All right, thanks guys. I hope this helped. See you later. Bye. I wanted to show you where the air injection things are. So though that screw there, and that screw there, and that pipe, and there, that screw there, and that screw there. So we remove that pipe, and I've already purchased the block-off plate. You put a new gasket in the block-off plate, and then air doesn't come through that nozzle anymore, and that's the last step. So I found out what company sells that. So it was called like Yoda Tech. It was $20, so you could probably make your own for cheaper, but no big deal. But that's the last piece. Just wanted to show that to you.